finally live, and I'm hoping that my signal is good today. So, hello everyone. I'm waiting. I'm hoping the signal is good. Okay, people are joining. I'm Steph from The Conscious Glow. Today I have Dr. Maryam Zamani joining me. She's an, let me say it right, oculoplastic surgeon. She's into advanced facial aesthetics, as well as the creator of MZ Skin, an incredible clean beauty brand which I came across through Linnean Living. So I'm super excited to have her on today to discuss all things clean beauty, what we really mean by that, some general tips from a professional such as herself. I'm glad everyone's joining. I'm seeing everyone, so it's good. And really just having a nice beauty talk. And I've had some amazing questions from you all, so I'm going to be asking her. So I'm just waiting for her to tune in. It's kind of weird. It's my first time being on my own live and not seeing someone else talking with me. So I basically feel like I'm talking to myself right now. And yeah, then we're going to talk about how she formed MZ Skin and why she did. I'm actually wearing her amazing Tint and Protect moisturizer today, and it's honestly amazing. So I'm hoping I'm going to see her coming in soon. It is literally my first. Oh, thank you. That's so kind, Fashion Goals. I'm really happy that you like my page, and I'm just hoping that I know how to add someone in. Okay, yay, she's here. I'm quite excited. Okay, she's waved, so you've joined. Okay, now. Okay, amazing. This is happening. Okay. Waiting. I'm praying this. I'm sorry, guys. This is the first time I'm having someone come into my life. Oh, hi.
How are you?
How are you? That was such a strange thing. I have never done a live on my own page, so it was the first time talking to myself. Like I was like, really nice to meet you.
Light off a little bit. Let's see if I can make it.
You look absolutely beautiful, glowing. Honestly.
I better look okay.
You do, and every time I see your stories, you're always working out. You're like literally mom goals, all sorts. I can't. You're a Wonder Woman.
Sweet.
Absolute Wonder Woman. I'd like you to introduce yourself first and just talk about.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Maryam Zamani, and I am an oculoplastic surgeon. I am also the founder of MZ Skin and a podcast called the Guinea Pig Podcast.
That's amazing, by the way. I didn't know the Guinea Pig podcast. I started listening to it the other day. It's great. When you have, I mean, the whole aesthetics is a world of its own. So it's amazing to kind of listen in and to have that advice. It's really good. So. And it was your last episode, right? This just recently.
Was, yes, until next season. I mean, we decided to do it seasonal, and we're trying to like sort of arrange it so that there's more of a flow, so people can be like, oh, season 1 is for this, season 2 is to.
No, it's amazing.
And we have a friend, and Amy, who is just commenting here.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm really looking forward to giving you all sorts of questions today. And I think first and foremost, it'd be amazing to know from someone who has their own brand, what is your skincare routine? We always talk about our morning, evening routines, but I would love to delve into yours if you don't mind, and to know what you use in the morning and the evenings.
So I created MZ Skin because I wanted a really easy system to use. And so my ethos is really to reveal, enhance, and protect the skin. So whether you're using 10 steps or you're using 3 steps, that's the most important. So reveal with a cleanser. I use MZ Skin Cleanser.
Yeah.
I usually do most of my skincare routine in the evening. I mean, of course I use it in the morning as well. I usually shower and do like a deep cleanse and mask and any sort of treatments always in the evening. So basically I use that every single night, and I don't wear a lot of makeup, and so that's enough to take care of like getting rid of all the dead skin, pollutants, debris, anything else that's sitting on top of the skin, and really receptive for anything else that you're going to place on top of your skin. So then what I'd like to do is, because I suffer from pigmentation, which you can't tell because I have a ring light on right now.
I do too, and I have a ring light on as well. I have pigmentation too, so.
And so right now I am actually whited out, and other than turning it off, which will be dark in this room, I can't do that right now. So, but I suffer from pigmentation, and so I create a skincare range that really has a lot of skincare, vitamin C and ingredients that help with pigmentation. So
so
I use
important.
vitamin C morning and night, and I use MZ Skin's vitamin C. And the reason I use MZ Skin's is it's a 10% encapsulated vitamin C with azelaic acid as well as hyaluronic acid. It's deeply hydrating, but in this combination, it reduces pigmentation by almost 40% if you use it twice a day. So like,
I'm sold.
yes, it's like an amazing ingredient to help. And I think for everybody, as long as you can, you know, some people say they're a little sensitive. They shouldn't be if you have like an encapsulated formula, but otherwise it's a really nice treatment really to help collagen production, help promote the synthesis of new skin cells and really brighten the skin.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, I do just that. I wash my face and I use the Brighten and Perfect. And then right now I use Tint and Protect, which is a tinted moisturizer that also has vitamin C in it. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
I love it too. So basically I use vitamins that has a little bit of vitamin C in it as well. It has hyaluronic acid and it has a minimum SPF of 30, which is what I think everybody should use on a daily basis. And I mean, if you're going like, I don't know, to an island or somewhere else, 50 is absolutely. I also actually put another SPF on top of it.
Okay. With a tint or not? Just literally.
I do use it with a tint in the summer. So like
Yeah.
right now in the winter, so I don't really use foundation. My
Like me.
moisturizer is kind of the thing that I use. So, and then I also use HelioCare. And right now, again, because you can't tell with my ring light, is that actually I use it's called oh my gosh, cream and bronze, or I don't know. It sounds something like bronze or
Wait, it's the HelioCare one.
yeah, the Helio. I
Because I
mix one.
used it. There's one that has the nice tint, and there's three different tints, three
Yeah,
different shades. It's really nice.
I feel like I'm looking extra pale, like I look in this light right.
No, you look great.
And then I use eye cream and that's it. And in the evening, as I said, I start with the cleanser, then I use the vitamin C. And for me, I have very dry skin. I'm much older than you. And so I have like fine lines and wrinkles. And so I love using the Replenish and Restore, which is a really hydrating mask slash night cream that has placenta, stem cells, and all these really great ingredients inside to help promote collagen production and also helps to deeply hydrate the skin. So I think it's a really great product for that sense. And so that's what I do in the evening. But otherwise, I'm very low maintenance with.
Well, I love it. It is low maintenance, and I think that's really important because I think we can all kind of get lots of different products, not use half of them because we're too tired or running around trying to do a million things. And you've kind of created a skincare that has it all in very minimal amount of products, which is amazing. And I think especially as we want to kind of invest in our skincare and things. So I think that's good. But it's amazing the things you say about your skin having hyperpigmentation. I also do. And I got really bad during my pregnancy. So I have one daughter, and it would literally all, like, you can't really see it here, but it was all along here. And people used to think that I had mascara left over or dirt or like, I was like, no, I don't.
Haven't washed your face or something, even though you have, which is really annoying. So I always say, like, you know, the people who look the nicest, like the I don't want to say more youthful, but the best for their age are the people who have clear skin. So whether it's blemishes, whether it's redness, whether it's pigmentation, you know, that's the number one thing. So everyone is trying to achieve that no foundation look. And so that's actually the big thing with, you know, with what's going on. Okay, I turned it off because it was just.
But you look gorgeous. And the same thing you say about not wearing foundation, because I think I don't wear foundation. I mean, I wear it when I'm doing a shoot or if I'm going on like a night out and I want to wear it. But my tinted moisturizer is my go-to every day. And this and I've literally just got yours a week ago, and I really like the color. I really like the feel of it. It just feels so light and not too cloggy, and obviously SPF 30 is fine for now. I'm not going to a beach or an island, so
I always tell people the problem with protection is that people don't usually put enough of it on, or they don't replenish it. So you just have to remember to either add more or, you know, to replenish. And so the higher the SPF, the difference between a 30 and a 50 is not that much in terms of protection. It's more in terms of how long you'll be protected for. So, you know, and also people don't like to really put makeup, put makeup on and then put SPF on top of it later. So that's also an
So
issue.
it's perfect. And I heard recently, I was told a tip, one thing we forget, especially you knowing it, especially you're like the wizard around the eyes. Here we forget to put SPF, and isn't it the most common cause of skin cancer stuff is here,
Um,
right?
eyelids, because it's usually in the hairline, because people don't go up into the hairline, and then on the lower eyelids. But also, I want to say, never forget your upper eyelid, because the eyelids are very difficult to treat, period, in
Yeah.
any of treatment. So lasers, peels, like it's the most delicate skin. So if you can prevent any pigmentation or any problems, UV damage, it's really better just to do that. So SPF is really important on the eye area.
Yeah.
Um, and
I
most,
think,
have
and then for me, I was always talking about, I always had this debate about eye creams and everything. What is the most important? And I think for me now, I'm going from like a 20s into my 30s. I'm turning 30 literally in 2 weeks. So what do I, because I think I always get this question about what do you use for dark spots, or what do you use for dark circles? Yes, I've had the pigmentation, but I've never suffered from dark circles. It's not, because it can be hereditary, correct? And now I'm obviously realizing I'm going to start getting wrinkles and starting these. What should I be looking for? In an eye cream?
So there's a couple of things that you can do. So in an eye cream, it depends on what your problem is or what your issue is. So we have two different eye creams. I created Depuff and Define, and I created Soothe and Smooth. So Soothe and Smooth is meant for fine lines, wrinkles, and dark circles.
Yeah.
And it is the thickness of the skin by almost 10% when used twice a day for a month, and also has a reduction of about 57% in dark circles. So, pretty high statistic. Yeah. Now, dark circles are caused from a number of reasons. They can be from tortuous blood vessels underneath the eyes caused by allergies, sinusitis, smoking, just general congestion in that area. They can be hereditary, which are much harder to treat.
Yeah.
Any use a lot of creams, and they're not really going to go away because you need to use a lightening cream. And then for this Soothe and Smooth, it also has that helps. It has bark extract that helps to drain and detoxify that area. So try to take out the dilated tortuosity of the blood vessels. So you need something that locks in hydration, like peptides, ceramides, that promote collagen production, but also locks in hydration. The more hydrated your skin is, and obviously the fine lines and wrinkles are less noticeable, and the less noticeable dark circles are, because in actuality, you're thickening that skin, so you're not going to see the tortuosity of the blood vessels underneath. Now, if you're somebody who suffers from puffy eyes are usually caused by a little bit of prolapse of fat in the lower eyelid. So we have 3 fat pads down here. Mm-hmm. And it can be hereditary, but it's also with age. It's like getting gray hair. Pretty much everybody gets it at some point in their life, unfortunately. That starts to protrude outwards. And when that happens, you can have puffy eyes. Puffy eyes also happen in people who don't have that, who, I don't know, had like a very salty dinner, or
Chinese food always does it for me.
Japanese, high altitude, steam, sauna. There's a lot of reasons why you can get puffiness in the lower eyelid. And so Depuff and Define has actually ingredients that help to detoxify and drain that area. That is not going to get rid of the problem of why you have puffy eyes, but it helps mask it while you have the cream on. So in people who have that fat prolapse, really surgery is the only answer, but not everybody wants to have surgery. So of course, that's not necessarily an option. So that's why I created 2. And it is important. Of course, anything you put on your skin, you can also put around your eyes, as long as you don't develop sensitivity to it. But eye creams are formulated to have a quicker absorption because skin is so thin, and there are very few, if any, oil glands in that area. So you need a little extra TLC. And so the vector in which the product is created is really important, so you get the maximal benefit. But eyes are always the first place for most people to say that, they feel they look tired.
And for me, it's my laziest point of my skincare regime. Like, I am so good with so much, I guess I've been, what do you call it, when you don't really have the issue and you're not, and then you just take everything for granted, but I look after everything else but my eye, and I'm just so I'm very lazy when it comes to eye creams, and I know that that's something that I need to be more, because I am going to start getting those fine lines and everything else. And I think
slope, let me tell you.
Sorry?
Not a very happy slope, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So all of this is just protection and
Yeah.
enhancement of that area to try and keep it good for as long as you can and to
Yeah.
at its best for as long as you can.
Until we start needing to do fillers and all sorts of things that we can do.
That. I mean, some people don't. I mean, the thing is like lines and wrinkles around the eye are beautiful. It's a sign of all the great memories you've had in your life, and
I love that. Memories. I love that.
it is. I mean, you're from the smiling, and of course, yes, you get a little bit of skin laxity, and sometimes a little bit of Botox can help, or if you have lost volume in the eye area, a little bit of filler can help. But those are just small little changes that we can do to tweak the area. It's not meant to be, changing. Creams are a really nice way to support that skin for as long as you can.
Okay, I'm going to remember that. And so if you were, I should say, on a desert island, what would be your go-to? What cream could you not live without? Tell me.
My God, that's really hard. You're telling me I'm on an island. I definitely need to have SPF because our pigment's going to come out like in full.
Okay, maybe not the desert island. Let's say it's the lockdown. Like, what was the key? What could you not live without?
That's so hard.
Like, because for me, for instance, I love a mask because it's not about the, obviously there are so many different aspects of my skincare routine that are really crucial, but it's my time that I kind of actually just kind of close my mouth, shut my eyes and relax. So for me, it's like a ritual. It creates so much more than just the putting on the product,
Around it. So, I mean, I love that you have a ritual. So for me, I mean, I can't say one, I have to say two, because I'm obsessed with our Radiance and Renewal mask. So it's an alpha hydroxy acid mask that helps to brighten the skin, and it just invigorates. It's like you can feel it working, like it's tingly in the nicest of way. It's not overpowering, and you feel like your skin is clean but not stripped of any of its natural oils. So I love that as a treatment for myself. But then afterwards, I just love to have a thicker cream or a mask, like Replenish and Restore. This placenta stem cell night cream / mask is the thing that I really, it's like sleep in a bottle for me. If I use it,
sleep in it, yeah.
and I just love that. But I love them in combination also with each other. So I use the mask every night anyway, but I really, really, really love having that mask, like the Radiance and Renewal AHA mask beforehand, because I just think it gives so much more.
So you're similar to me in terms, now I understand your evening routine is kind of it is a ritual in itself. You spend that more time, that kind of unwinding, rather than the probably quick glow to for the day and you're in a rush in the morning routine. So it's nice.
It has to be 5 minutes. I mean, otherwise, well, first of all, I like to sleep into the last possible moment. So we'll always like get that one extra minute of sleep as a.
Are you an alarm snoozer by any chance?
I'm so bad. And I have a Billie Eilish's song on my phone, and my daughter sleeps in my room most nights, so she's hilarious. So like, Mommy.
Well, I've been having my daughter wake me up. I don't know what it is recently. She's 3. She's waking up at between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and I'm like, please, like, so now I'm snoozing literally in the morning. I wish people could actually see me. I'm like, get her breakfast ready. I put on CBBS and I fall asleep in the kitchen side table that we have, a little like bench that we have in the window. If people could see me, they'd be like, what
is wrong? You're a typical mom.
Exactly, especially in lockdown anyway. It's a bit crazy. So just talking, I think there's so much about so you're a clean beauty brand, and for me, I think it's really important that people understand kind of what it means to be a clean beauty brand, what important ingredients that we should have in our products, as well as what we shouldn't, making sure that isn't inside our products, because there's so much misconception. And I also feel like in the world, as we're kind of going, there's so many new kind of terminology, like everyone's saying, oh, clean, conscious, this, that, oh, you need to do natural, you need to like, and everyone kind of gets all a bit confused. And people think you either have to be a complete natural skincare guru, or then you're cosmeceutical and, do all sorts of things. Whereas I think there has to be an equilibrium and a balance, but sticking to products or lines that understand ingredients that we should be kind of staying clear of. So I kind of want to delve into this a bit with you, if you don't mind.
So I consider myself a conscious brand. So all my formulations are made with the idea that the ingredients are in there for a reason. They're not just there to fluff things up.
Yeah.
So I believe in that. Now, the problem is with saying clean or organic or green, there is no actual definition that's uniform everywhere. And there's no way of knowing, unless you actually do a lot of research, what ingredients are organic, what ingredients are green, and it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult for the consumer to know that. There are some brands that, are wholly made on specific farms, the provenance of those ingredients, and that's a different scenario altogether. There's not that many brands out there. Now, as a doctor brand, I also like to say that I think that there are chemicals that work really well, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with them. And there is no skincare that doesn't have preservatives and doesn't have some sort of chemical. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the shelf. Like you can't just keep things on the shelf for 2-3 years without having some sort of preservative. So I have consciously taken out parabens, silicones, any of the nasties that people generally, think about when they think about unhealthy topical skincare. Now, remember, skin is the largest organ of the body, so that you place on top, it's a barrier, but it also is very absorbent and takes so much in. I personally don't think that, for instance, all parabens are nasty or terrible, but I have chosen not to use them in my formulation because of the perception and the lack of education for most people in terms of what might be bad and what might be worse for us. I say that because I don't necessarily think those parabens are bad, and I don't know yet. There hasn't been enough data. One study suggested something, but you also have to remember that was a paraben that's been used for many decades, and so we have a big history of it. Who's not to say one of these newer ones that are supposedly like clean or better isn't just as bad for us in another 20 years. So I think you always have to take this sort of medical information or anything that's tooted in the press. You have to take it with a grain of salt and really kind of dig in. So I actually think in order to have skincare that works really well, of course, there's lots of plants, extracts. There are a lot of great ingredients that can come from the earth, but they've usually been processed in some sort of way. So I always feel like people don't necessarily, they want to do the right thing, but the education isn't there because they read things that are not necessarily accurate. The other thing I wanted to say that I think is interesting is, so I use fragrance a little bit in some of my products as opposed to minerals, like just oils, essential oils. And why? The reason is because actually essential oils are more likely to be allergic to skin than a synthetic fragrance. So there's a reason I chose it. Is one, I have active, so placenta doesn't smell very good on its own. So I don't put scent to make it like a florally scented product, but I do use scent to sometimes counterbalance, ingredients that might be inside. So I think it's really important. I mean, just because it has fragrance doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be bad for you. You may not like the fragrance, and it might not be to your soothing in terms of what you smell, but it's not necessarily bad for you in any sort of way. So I find that difficult. So I like to say that I'm conscious. I do things for a reason. And so, if you find a retinol that's in there, that's encapsulated, I put it in there for a reason. It's not that I'm, to put in something that doesn't necessarily work.
No, I love that. I love that I love how you actually define conscious, like putting in ingredients that actually work. So you were aware of what you were putting into your skincare, which is, it's like conscious beauty means so many things to different people, and I just think it's great to get that opinion. We get so much scaremongering in the press, so much kind of negative connotations. People also think if you're going to use natural organic, you're going to break out and you have to use hardcore kind of cosmo. And I love the balance. And I think that's, because I use completely natural products, and also I have more clean based products that do have synthetics in them. And I think what's quite important is that we're all, like, beauty is a personal thing, right? Our skincare, it's personal to kind of what suits us. We all have different needs, and which I know people are asking, what do we use for freckles? I love freckles. Someone asked me, what do we do for, I think freckles are amazing. And I think
on that. But what I also wanted to say is that sometimes people, when they have issues with the skincare, it's because they've changed too many things at the same time. So if you're using skincare, never start more than one product at a time. Use it slowly. Use it maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and slowly increase it to nightly. And and in order to see the best difference, you really have to give your skincare at least a month, if not longer, to see what the best is.
6 weeks is usually good, right? Because you have a change, your skin slightly changes.
But again, like, don't try everything at the same time. So don't start don't start 4 new products and expect your skin to be like perfect in any sort of way. You may have irritation reactions. Freckles. I used to have tons of freckles. Oh my God. Freckles are really cute and young, but they're all sun damage. And as you get older, they age you, and they coalesce, and they become bigger sunspots. And so I spent, I spent a lot of my youth in the sun, unfortunately, or fortunately. Maybe I was just stupid and young. But I did love it. And I do think that if you're going to, if you worry about freckles, vitamin C is something important to have. You alpha hydroxy acids to help keep the skin cleansed and bright. And then you should be using a retinol of some sort over the counter. And then later you can even go to something stronger, because that helps produce collagen. It helps decrease blemishes. It helps decrease pigmentation. And if you really have pigmentation that bothers you, you can either add a hydroquinone, which requires a doctor's prescription, or you can have like in-office treatments, like an intense pulse light treatment, a series of those that target the pigmentation, and try and get rid of it in that sort of way. So, and somebody asked for older skin. I just want to, regardless of whether you're older, younger, 20, 80, your skincare routine really should go, should have the ethos of reveal, enhance, and protect. I mean, you really need to cleanse the skin well without being overstripping, and you really need to give it those products, like I said before, to enhance it. So look for things with vitamin C, look for things with hyaluronic acid, look for things with niacinamide. Depending on what your issues are, you can always add or subtract different ingredients. If you need some more mature skin generally needs more hydration, look for really hydrating ingredients that are also anti-inflammatory: hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C. I mean, I know I keep repeating vitamin C, but it's like,
but vitamin C is the key. It's the key.
Promote collagen production, and retinol is like the powerhouse ingredient that we know does all of the above. So really at all ages, that's an important ingredient. And of course, SPF.
And I do like on your website that you use AI. So actually, if you go onto MZ Skin, you can just you can even put a selfie up, but you also what's going on with your skin, what are your issues, and then they suggest some products. I love that, because it's kind of bringing in that personal into online shopping, which we've all had to be doing right now. I can't wait for the time that sorry, there's me knocking my thing. Wait till we don't have to do online shopping. One thing I do want to say about retinol, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So I remember when I was pregnant, obviously had the hyperpigmentation. There were certain things I was told to stay away from: vitamin A, right? Like retinol based products. But vitamin C was also fine. Can you tell me a bit why that is, why we shouldn't be, and what we should be using if we are suffering during pregnancy from hyperpigmentation?
Yeah, and so in pregnancy, you can have increased susceptibility of skin to irritation and sun exposure, which is why sometimes you can get, I think this is more hormonally regulated in addition to UV sun radiation. So when you're pregnant, you cannot use a retinol. Retinol is a vitamin A derivative. It's also, you may have heard Roaccutane, which is used for those who suffer from cystic acne. It's oral medication. And in the oral form, if you use that while you are pregnant, you can have a child with substantial birth defects. And therefore, it's contraindicated. So anybody who's using Roaccutane, for instance, for acne, cystic acne, they're usually taking some form of birth control to prevent pregnancy. And actually, it's very rigorously, monitored. You have to come in monthly to make sure you have if you're a female woman, to have a pregnancy test. You have to show that you're on birth control pills. So it's really important. So in terms of that, it is important. Now, topically, to use as a cream, I wouldn't obviously use a prescription strength either, and I wouldn't even recommend using an over-the-counter one, because there's just there have been no studies. Having said that, the amount of product that goes systemically through your body and when you apply it on your face is probably very little, but I recommend that when you're pregnant, you don't do anything with retinol in it. You just take that out of your skincare routine, and also while you're breastfeeding. Not because But I mean, you know, there's no reason to, it's a short-term thing, usually, you know, breastfeeding. So you can refrain from doing that for the, you know,
I
however.
remember when I was doing my facials, so they were like, we can use these certain products, but actually just going for those regular facials and really taking care of my skin without the retinol really did help, because when I breastfed for like 10.5 months, but it
Wow.
actually it pretty much left by the time, just because of obviously it was hormonal based, and then through the kind of products that I was using and just that regular kind of vitamin C and everything else that you could do.
Just everything else. You know, the biggest thing is sometimes you can be a little bit sensitive of being in the sun. So you have to make sure.
I remember not realizing when you're pregnant, after breastfeeding, you burn. Like, I was in Greece. Oh my gosh. I'd been in Iran where I was covered, not in the sun. I was at home, and then we decided to go to Greece, and I fell asleep after like a long flight with Jasmine. Like, we had two kind of connections. It was a 4 a.m. flight. She was 6 months old at this point. And I remember just kind of, I sprayed myself with the Kula spray, which is amazing. But like, if you don't rub it in, then you're going to have streaks, right? Fell asleep. Oh my gosh, an hour and a half. I was literally spent my whole week with cucumbers and yogurt on my skin, and like, oh, it was awful. Like, I'd never burnt until I was pregnant. It was so bad. Our breastfeeding was
That's terrible. Well, you learned your lessons. You're never going to let that happen again.
no, please don't. No one else. Like, even my sister, she's pregnant now. She had the same thing. She's like, Steph, oh my gosh. And she wears, my mom has always been adamant when we were young, SPF, SPF, SPF. So she does, but it just catches you. You have to kind of be really, really cautious. If you miss even the slightest part on your bone, or that's it, you're bad. So you have to be really, I get the sensitivity, it happened. So another thing, because I think we could talk for hours and hours, but I really believe that beauty starts from within, right? We should see beauty holistically. We can use amazing skincare products, but also it's a lifestyle, right? It's like our mental well-being. So for me, that's why kind of doing my skincare is kind of my ritual, or working out. You're working out all the time. I see you there. But you know, I want to know what kind of you do, like in terms of what supplements you take, or how do you see, you know, your beauty?
Supplements today. So I take a few supplements, mainly like daily vitamin, calcium, vitamin D every once in a while with vitamin K, because you need the two of them together. And I take something recently called mitochondrial support, which is supposed to help you with negative, you know, hormonal changes. So like high cortisol levels. So I don't know if it's like good or not. Trying it out, so I'll let you know.
Because high cortisol, and sometimes they say if you kind of work out, I'm a bit of this person that I have to kind of work out quite intensely, otherwise I feel like I'm not, you know, I need that kind of buzz, and that kind of helps me.
I'm the exact.
But then they say that can be counterproductive, right? Because then you end up, your stress hormones are kind of all up there. You're all, yeah. So I'd be quite interested to know if that works, to be honest.
So I was put on that by a nutritionist, so I'll tell you how I feel. And then sometimes I might add a little bit of magnesium at night if I feel like I'm a little, you know, I have a lot of energy. So if I feel like I want to go to sleep and I can't because I've had like a green tea or something, then I might take magnesium. But in general, that's about it for my vitamins. And then I do work out. So I have, now in lockdown, it's different. So I work out 3 times a week, now with my trainer, before with Zoom. And then afterwards, I used to do like 2 days with him and 2 days with my Pilates instructor, but I can't do the Pilates because I don't have a reformer at home. So
I love reformer Pilates. It's amazing.
That's been really hard. And then now I just bought a Peloton recently. I bought it like at lockdown.
And you're on it like 11 at night. I've seen you.
So I love that because I love cardio. So cardio is what I'm happy to do on my own. And that's what I miss the most about my lockdown, is that I don't have my gym. I like going to the gym. I would usually do like 40 the elliptical there.
I have my daughter knocking right now. I'm going to let her just walk in, because otherwise this is mom life. I'm sorry that this is.
I'd like to see her.
Jasmine, come and say hello. Let's see if she's. It's okay, Daddy. She can come and say. Do you want to say hi or not? She wants to sleep, apparently. You can lie down. That's fine.
you?
You can watch me, Jasmine, of course, no problem. She wants to watch me because I actually have a thing with my sister on the Monday night. And if she's not fallen asleep, she kind of sits here. And I'm set up in my bedroom right now because I kind of feel kind of comfortable and zen. And she's actually just got used to sitting there watching me. So.
That's horrible.
Right now, her daddy's trying to get her out the room. And she's like, no.
It's got a strong will.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I let her do that. I think that's really important. Let her kind of stick to her guns, for sure. So kind of, yeah. So anything else in terms of like your diet?
Okay, let's get it.
Okay, Jasmine, no problem. I love this. I can't. She's gone to go get her blanket. I'm just gonna let her. Daddy was there. She was just having. She needs to get back to nursery, but we're on this thing of not taking her back yet. We're all a bit. That's another thing we could go on for. But what else do you do in terms of?
My nutrition is like, I eat a lot of Persian food, so I'm Iranian, obviously, and so we eat a lot of Iranian food, and I think Iranian food is really healthy if you cook it well. Like you don't, if you don't have as much oil and all the
preservatives. It's pretty much you make everything from scratch.
You have all these vegetables, and I have I eat a lot of veal or chicken. I don't use much beef, but I need meat. Like, so I'm somebody, if I don't have like animal protein, I can't survive. So I tried to go vegan, it didn't work. But I'm generally a healthy eater, but I also love my sweets. So you can't see in my living room right here, I have color coordinated Skittles. M&Ms, and I have bubble gum. Like, that's just like a typical me. So
by the way, are you a Cancerian?
I am.
You see, there's so many similarities. I honestly believe I don't go fully into like star signs, but I feel this, like there's so many similarities. The way you love cardio, the things about your skin. I don't know. It's so your sweet tooth as well. Mine's 26th of June.
Mine's the 5th of July.
Oh, that's amazing. We're sensitive souls, sweet tooths.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think otherwise I'm like pretty healthy, but I mean, I'm the person who'll have French fries. I don't restrict. Look, you only live once. If it makes you happy, you should have it.
I'm just saying that I've just been on a 3-day juice cleanse.
Which one did you?
I did prescription. They have the weight loss one, so it was a little bit more of a challenge. My husband was on they have the signature, which is one more juice than but it was more for me to be a little bit more mindful, because I realized I train hard and then I was just eating too much of good food, if that makes sense. My portion sizes went from this to like this, so just kind of created that. Are you gonna come at least and say hello?
I shut the door.
Come and say hello so people this is Jasmine.
How are you?
I want to go to sleep and I'm gonna watch you.
Okay, you watch us. You watch us. Once the time I was in like a really like serious live, and everyone was like, you know what, Steph, you just have to embrace it, right? Don't like let it get to you. Like, concentrate still. Just gotta. Because I was like, oh my gosh, you know. And I think that's the mummy. Oh, Jasmine, don't say that. She's copying what I'm saying now. Cheeky monkey. Anyway, my friend is one of my mommy friends is on, putting a smiley face. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Otherwise, she is going to literally take it over. Listen, I just want to ask a few more questions. So why she's not copying what I'm saying. What inspired you to create MZ Skin?
So MZ Skin is my husband. They think about making stuff. MZ Skin. Do you know it?
Do you know MZ Skin, Jasmine?
So basically, I created it it took about 2 years to create. But before that, while I was creating it, it was really because I was mixing my own skincare, like the ones that I liked. So I like Shiseido and Natura Bize and things like that. And I was mixing it with prescription strength ingredients with a pharmacist locally, and actually a chemist, not even a pharmacist. But and then my husband was like, well, why don't you just make some creams? And I was like, okay. And that's how it started. I had no intention whatsoever of creating a skincare. So it's funny. I was saying I would never have done it if it wasn't my husband's idea. And then slowly, it was a very slow process. It took 2.5 years from when I took that to a formulator to when we launched at Harrods. It took 2.5 years. And then we launched in the fall of 2016. So we started talking about with a chemist or a formulator in March, right around Persian New Year,
Yeah.
2014. And then, yeah, a little over 2 years later, we launched.
Nowruz, yes, Jasmine.
Nowruz,
We're trying to learn Farsi at the moment. Well,
amazing.
I can speak a bit, but Jasmine's, yeah, we're practicing. Okay, and what product? So I'm obviously using the Tint and Protect at the moment. She's copying. I can't concentrate now. What other product would you suggest for me to try?
So you have beautiful skin. I mean, if pigmentation is something that bothers you, and even if it's not like pigmentation, I really recommend the vitamin C. So I think that's like such a great product to use. So that's one. So and you don't look like you have very dry skin. You look like you're normal.
I used to have, but since using more oil-based products, my skin has got less dry. I
think like the Rest and Revive would be a really nice one for you too.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to go and delve in from my birthday. Lecture, I was like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, beauty products. Like, Steph, you're turning 30. You've got to think of something great.
Are you going to do anything? Are you doing anything to market?
Just having a few family that are kind of isolating together at home. And I have actually an Iranian company called Ilari Events. They're doing some amazing balloon conception in my house. Me and Jasmine are going to go all out with balloons.
That is so nice.
Yeah, so that would be it. And just relaxing. We'll make.
I can't wait to see that actually. So yeah, I had to turn it on because it's gotten really dark. I can't wait to see that because I really love balloons, and it's always you need to mark your day.
They're amazing because they incorporate the flowers and the balloons together. Jasmine's now my little I have a copy person right now. She's copying everything.
She's your mini you.
She is, and she's gonna love her skincare. Jasmine, do you love skincare?
Mommy will take care of her.
Exactly. Honestly, I am so grateful for you.
I'd love to meet you in real life when this is all over.
Please.
So.
I'm coming in for a consultation for sure.
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Apologize. I shouldn't apologize, but my daughter coming in like that. There we go.
Not at all. You're a mama. Most important job.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just want to take a quick picture of us so I can put it.
Oh, yeah. I'll smile. She doesn't want me to say goodbye. And I'm going to save it as well. And I will do some little updates for everyone on kind of what we discussed and some tips so they can kind of see it more clearly. I'll send some graphics over. Thank you so much. Honestly.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.